Hello everybody, we are back and we're going to discuss maybe some options for making more of these shingles a little custom, maybe making them flow a little bit more, and we're going to go over an idea of using tween curves and tween surfaces. And no, these are not surfaces that are, between the ages of 10 and 13 or whatever tweens are these days. But what we're going to do, I've already got an extra layer. I just made a little test layer up here in which I'm going to grab some key surfaces and duplicate them and then edit them, because what a tween surface does is it tries to create a surface in between two surfaces. So it kind of will flow into each other nicely. And you'll see in a second here. I'm going to select these major surfaces because you can see how this one was the one that was the most, or allowed a little bit of space when we arrayed them. And this is an area where it's going to be sort of large, or at least there's the most space. And then these are the two ends which we'll need. So I'm going to copy objects to that layer, and I'm just going to hide that layer. And right now I'm just going to kind of eyeball how wide I think these are, and I'm just stretching them out in one direction, maybe a little bit bigger, and then this one will probably have to stretch in a bit. And this one, I think I can stretch it out. But we're going to check because we're just going to array only these in a polar array. And I'm going to stick with 10. And it's looking all right. This one, so with this one, I'm just going to shrink it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to just delete these other ones. So what I'm going to do next is I can come up to either my surface tab, and this is the tween surfaces icon. You can also, in your drop-down menu, find tween surfaces in the surface drop-down menu. So I'm going to go ahead and click tween surfaces and say start surface. I'm going to select my bottom one. Then it's going to say select end surface. And the weird thing about tween surfaces, it doesn't actually highlight your selected surface, which is a little strange, but just keep that in mind. And I'm going to select this one. And it's saying number of surfaces you would like, and you can see I have 3 available points. And I got those points from intersecting my surfaces with my original rib curve here. And match method, I'm going to do refit, which essentially tries to refit or remake that surface. So I'm going to hit enter. And those are the in-between surfaces, and you can see how it changes nicely. But I'm just going to delete these surfaces because we don't need them. But they are not cut like these other surfaces. So I'm going to also have to do tween curves. And I'm going to select my start curve, and I'm going to select my other curve, and I'm going to do 3 as well. Now my match method, I'm going to hit none, like you can refit it, but then you can see how that curve slightly changes. It might not be where I want it. I'm just going to hit none for right now, and I'm going to hit done. And then what I can do is I can split those surfaces with those curves as well. It's a little extra work, but it's gonna make a nicer lampshade because it's gonna be those details that are gonna really make that lampshade pop. And now what I have to do is then I have to move these. And I'm using my move command so I can be precise about it. And then I'm also going to have to rotate these as well, because we can see how this edge needs to be tangent to the curve at that point. And I'm just going to move them out a little bit. And I don't need these lines anymore. So I'm just going to delete them. And so I've got these nice, surfaces flowing into each other. And I'm going to do a sanity check and array those in a polar array just to see how well they look. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. I mean, there's just a little bit of space, which is all I need. And that's looking pretty good. So what I can do now is I can actually continue that tween surfaces and curves process for these other gaps up here. And so I'm going to do that separately outside this video, so I'm not boring you when it's not a super long video. So I will see you soon.